Good morning, starshine. A deal with Iran. Good morning. Guten Morgen. Yeah. What a world. Good morning, Oomph. What a world. What a world it is. Incroyable. as the French would say. Good morning. Welcome to Wake and Bake with Lolo. I'm Lolo, and I do a morning show that is a little bit of news, sometimes congressional stuff, any type of in-person event we try to cover. And today on Mondays, when we don't have a ton of events, we just we catch up on news together. Actually, I catch up on news, and you all who have probably already read the news, kind of, what is that thing when you're trying to spare someone's feelings? I don't know. And you put up with it. No. I'm good. I'm melting. I'm very good. I'm very good, Neil. I got a good night's sleep. Which is really, really nice. And we did watch. It's Migraine Monday. Oh, love, I'm so sorry. Oh, Teresa, I'm so sorry. Oh, find a nice dark room. Turn us off. I'm so sorry. Hi, Carla. We had fun watching so we had this weird situation in the Discord last night. And it was a few of us. And Stephanie's in Denali, Alaska. Paddle wheel boat today and home tomorrow. Oh, I'm ready to get home. 10 days is a long time to be away from my pup. Oh, that's a nice vacation, Stephanie. I'm so happy that you did that. Thank you for sharing some of that with us. I hope you drop some pics. You don't have to dox anybody, but I'd love to see pics of Denali or, of any of your trips. So you can feel free to drop those in the Discord. Yeah. So we watched yesterday I'm sorry, but I have Paramount Plus and I'm going to make an excuse for it. So I just don't want anyone to give me any trouble. Because my kid's in the industry, we have all the streaming services because she's got to watch people's work. We just have it because that's her job. So, and it's not a great excuse, but it's the best excuse I can come up with. And so we did have access to the UFC fight last night. So we had a 3-screen thing. We had a 3-screen thing where we had the Jane Fonda event, right? The Indivisible event. And then and the sound was up on that. And then we had the UFC fight from Paramount Plus in one corner, and then a USA Today shot, which was actually a pretty good candid shot of where Dump was sitting. So you had like 3 shots, but no sound from the UFC fight. and then after the Jane Fonda thing was done, I just found like ambient, cafe jazz where it was a dark picture so that you could just like I don't know why I had such a preoccupation with that UFC event, if only to hope for lightning because there was so much metal there, but it didn't happen. So that's okay. It's not, you don't always get what you want. But you do know what day it is, don't you? That's right. It's Monday. It's Monday. That's pretty much where we're at right now. Yeah. It's not going to work. We're not going to escape. We're not escaping. We're not escaping. I have so many things on my mind today, but I hope I have some kind of, and actually I have a lot of articles to read to you, so I don't have to rely on my stupid memory. Yeah, it's Stephanie. I will catch up with y'all later. All right, Teresa, I love you so much, darling. You take care of yourself, love. Oh, Badger, you were up all night after that? I'm so sorry. Oh yeah, come on in on the horizontal. Don't stay in there. Don't stay in there. Don't go in the barn. Did that sound weird? No, it didn't sound weird. Let's see. Let me go back. Hi, Mr. Spock. Hello, darling. How are you? Dan is here. Hello, Dan, my love. And let's see. We're gonna send Teresa back to bed. She's got to take a nap. Yeah, see you on the horizontal. What about Botox? Oh, you have lots of video and pics. Oh, I will look at any pictures you have of Alaska. That sounds great. I'm so happy you got that trip. I'm so happy. Nothing you say sounds weird, Badger. Never. So don't even worry about it. Pap. Hello, loungers and Lolo. I hope you're feeling better soon, Teresa. I know the migraines are just frightening to me. It was nasty business. I'm sorry, Badge. I didn't mean to make you stay up all night. That was nasty business. You know, I grew up watching like boxing and wrestling and roller derby. My grandmother was really into it, but my mom also watched like a lot of live sports. So my dad was a boxer in college, you know, very typical kind of story. So I watched a lot of boxing. I appreciate some of the art of boxing, but it's become something else, right? And the MMA is just like off the hook kind of bullshit. And it's just to get as much blood on the tarp as possible, right? Like that's to me what MMA is all the people who wish that you could kick somebody in the head, you know, in boxing, and now you can just kick them in the head. So yeah, I mean, I can appreciate like I have paid money to WWE to go see a WWE Raw show live twice. Okay, twice. That's it. Bye bye Unified. Have a bye bye Unified. Fucking ding dong. Wait, is it one of the dumb? I get a lot of trolls on the vertical, so unfortunately, if you're on the vertical, you're gonna get a bunch of trolls over there, and I'll try and take care of them. No, Jesus wasn't real. Yeah, so I'm so sorry to be the one to have to tell you that, but Jesus wasn't real. I'm so sorry. Roller derby was awesome. Skinny Minnie the blonde. Yeah, I loved roller derby. I really enjoy it. I'm glad it got a resurgence. I think it's really great. The same the same dude who was drunk. Yeah, what they said. Now here's the thing, as someone who has listened to way too much right-wing media over the last 6 years, you know, and then some, the whole Michelle Obama is a man thing has been a disgusting you know, bullshit thing. I don't know, Jane. I'm not sure if you're on the vertical or not. Is it a skinny screen or is it a wider screen? I'm not sure, Jane. I can't tell. But that particular disgusting bullshit has been spewed for years now by a lot of the right-wing pundits, and that's kind of what they get off on is this, you know, just try and be as hateful as you can. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. So so it's interesting that you know, like it came out during that night, and I don't know, I guess I'm just not shocked. I mean, this is something that these folks have just completely adopted, this kind of disgusting bullshit, you know, we're idiots kind of thing. Yeah. So I just don't understand that. Why would you do that? Yeah, you don't understand. I'm so sorry. How old are you? Are you not old enough to be here? Bye. IDK, it's just a shot of me. Well, it is okay. I don't know, Jane. I can't. I don't know where you are, Jane. I don't know. No, they're terrible people. And the thing is they've always been terrible people. Sorry, that shirt is bothering me. Yeah, you're good, Jane. You're on the fine. Is it landscape or portrait? Oh, there you go. Pepper has the words. I don't have the words. Pepper has the words. Is Black Bear here? Oh my God. Good morning, Black Bear. How are you, my love? Oh my goodness. So nice to see everybody. Lee is here. Hello, Lee. I missed everybody. Oh my God. Max, on the Jane Fonda stuff, you're right. They totally did. They totally did. It was too much. And the sound design was terrible. Absolutely terrible. So anyway, I don't know. I'm trying to get rid of some of the creeps. Good morning, peace, love. How are you? I've been saying that about her in Obama's first term. Yeah, they've been saying it exactly. They've been saying it forever because they're whatever. I don't even know. It's not like it's even like a really hurtful thing. It's just like stupid. Yeah, Jane, if you see towels, you're in the linen closet again. Yes, landscape. There you go, darling. Landscape. You want to do that? Yeah, landscape is horizontal. You're good. You're good. You're good, Jane. You're here. Oh, it's nice to see you, Black Bear. Good to see you. Yeah, it's just oh my gosh, there's so many things that just like I don't know, it's just a crazy world. And I'm going to tell you right now, if it isn't the biggest case of the emperor's new clothes with Dump starting a war. Hi K9. Oh my god, I forgot to say hi to you. Hello K9, my love. K9 comes from watching like convoy stuff and other stuff from a long time ago. So K9, it's nice to see you in here. So so this war, okay? All right. First of all, if you don't think that we started this war, people have died, many people have died. Prices have skyrocketed like to levels, I mean literally levels no one has ever seen before. There's not free shipping in the Strait of Hormuz, and there won't be, it looks like. I don't know. I'm just like, if this is not the biggest Emperor's New Clothes where people are going to try and spin it, I get it. They're going to try and spin that this is like, 3D chess. But I just wanted you to look at the math, okay? Because what's being discussed is that we would give Iran, I know a figure of like $24 billion has been kicked around, and that half of it would be up front, and then half of it when they've, I don't know, done something with their dust or something. I don't even know. We haven't even seen anything yet, so nobody really knows. So let me get this straight. Dump started a war, ended up with a deal that appears to be about 20, let's just say tens of billions of dollars, maybe 20 billion, who knows. And and still control over the Strait of Hormuz, because no one has made any declaration that it's free travel, or at least nobody with any information. Dump doesn't count. And and what was the JCPOA deal? Hi, Paul J. Good morning, darling. Ooh, nice hot shower. That sounds good. What was that JCPOA deal? That they would be subject to IAEA inspections, so that they would not work towards a bomb. Hi, Sharon Gray. And they didn't, because we had IAEA go in. I read the reports. IAEA has been going in and monitoring their enrichment activities and all of that bullshit. And under the JCPOA, the amount of money that was given back, actually, because it was their money to begin with, it was just held, and the international community actually decided and put pressure on the United States to do the JCPOA. So it wasn't just the United States deciding to do it. And they gave back about $1.5 billion. Remember the pallets of cash everybody's so mad about? Pallets of cash. Well, that was about what, $1.5 billion or something like that. Do you understand what's being discussed as being given to Iran as part of this deal? $24 billion. So let me get this straight. We started a war. 14 U.S. soldiers are dead. Thousands of Iranians, probably Qataris, probably in the region, probably tens of thousands dead, I would imagine. And we ended up with a regime that still is in power, still is holding their people, in an authoritarian manner. We've given them we're going to pledge to give them 20 times the amount of money that was the money that we gave back to them, because again, it was their money that we were holding. 324, I thought it was 24 billion. Well, here's the thing, like I don't, oh wait, Obama's was 324 billion. Is that true? Because that's not what I heard this morning. Let me get this straight because I don't want to get it wrong. Hold on. I'm getting confused. Oops, that's not right. JCPOA money. The unfreezing of Iranian assets and economic sanctions relief, which we're also releasing sanctions on them. Oh, I'm sorry. It was 100 billion. Oh, total. Okay, excuse me. Well, total frozen assets were estimated about 100 billion. Half was tied up in foreign debts, leaving Iran with about 50 billion in freely accessible funds. Excuse me. It was 100 billion, and then they ended up with about 50. Oh, no, wait a minute. I'm so sorry. In addition to the unfreezing of assets, the United States made a separate $1.7 billion payment to Iran. So that was a legal settlement. So listen, I was right. The United States gave, I see what you say. It's 300 billion to rebuild Iran. Oh, sorry. Yeah. But as I understand it, it was, the money was unfrozen. So it ends up that it was about $100 billion. 50 of that was foreign debt. So back in the day, Iran had access to about $50 billion of their assets. And then on top of that, we made a $1.7 billion payment to settle a legal claim that from way back when. Good morning, Oren. And today, what we're talking about, self-inflicted, because in January, none of this was on the table. None of it. None of it. In February, none of this was on the table. None of it. And now, instead of just unfreezing assets and giving them 1.7 billion, we're going to unfreeze assets to the tune and give them another, what it sounds like, $324 billion. What clothes does the emperor have on? Yeah, exactly. It sounds like 2 bushels of money, airplanes full of money, orange guy is giving them, right? Peace, love. Like, what the fuck is happening here? And guess what? We're going to read some stories, but the stories I'm reading is that the economic fallout from this crazy cuckoo town bananas war isn't going to leave right away. We are going to be poorer because of this war that never had to happen. And if this isn't just the most colossal fuck up of a regime, then I don't even know what is. Because this to me seems like a colossal fuck up. Even the oil people were telling Trump last week, I have a story. The fucking oil people were telling Trump, listen, this is not going well. So, while in the beginning they might have thought, oh, money. Even they are seeing, even the fucking sick motherfucker oil men are understanding that this doesn't even work for them, because this to me is idiocracy. This to me is absolutely a stupid regime. Like inept. Fucking, when I listen to Pete Hegseth now, have you heard him? He sounds like a drunk incel. There is no gravitas from that man. He doesn't understand the war, how a war works at all. He is a fucking TV host. He reads a prompter. He's not going to ease the pain. The pain is here. The pain is baked in. It's not going away. I don't understand this. I don't understand this. Even, I would have thought even fucking stupid, bullshit. God. I can't even believe this. I can't believe this is where we are. It's so dumb to me. I mean, I'm not a good businessman or anything like that, but my God. Hold on. We're gonna read some stuff today. U.S. and global oil producers realized massive. Yeah, they did. They totally did. But even they are kind of like, okay, maybe we just overstepped it a little bit. I don't know. Okay, let me see this. Let's share this one out. Yes. Sloan Bella is a psychic who says, if you want to know what hell is, we are living through hell right now. Well, I mean, I don't know about that. Here's the thing. One of the things that strikes me is that all of our, furor over this particular time, which I have a lot of furor over this particular time. But we should remember, I hope we remember, especially as white people, I'm just going to say it. I hope we remember that people have been struggling under authoritarianism at all for centuries in this country. It's really been the de rigueur, like de rigueur is that we oppress people and we are assholes and the system is rigged to help white people. I mean, that let's call a thing, because that's really what we're talking about here. And so while we can say right now it's bad, it's kind of privileged to say, oh, it's just, so terrible, because it's been terrible for a large group of the population for hundreds of years. And I'm not saying that there aren't parts of it now that are just more overt, but I think that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with overt. We're not necessarily dealing with anything that's new. It just happens to be pointed at a lot more people. But we have to attack it full-throatedly regardless. Anti-trans hate, anti-LGBTQ, anti-black, anti-anything DEI, people of color. Oh my God, wall of text. I can't with you. I'm so sorry. I don't even know what you're saying, but you're dumb because you can't expect me to read all that. So, I get it, and I know, and I'm just as, I am just as guilty, I guess, of being like shocked by, oh my God, the cruelty. Well, there's entire swaths of the population who grew up in that cruelty and or have incredible generational trauma from that cruelty that still follows people. And also the systems are still very much geared towards white people. Sorry. Okay, so that's like this country is already not anywhere where it needed to be, and now it's just like, I don't know what the word is. More overt? I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe this is the end game for them. I'm not really sure. I do think it is the great cash out. I think these guys are seeing that the midterms are coming. I think they're scared of the midterms. But I think they are scared. So anyway, so I was looking this morning for some articles about what's happening and what I wanted to read. So remember, there's starving kids in China that should have been there, starving people of color right down the street. I mean, community. I think the beautiful thing is that I think that community organizing and that mutual aid and those types of growth in that area, I think is going to rise, which is a wonderful thing to see community aid and mutual aid rather, and community groups getting involved. So definitely reach out in your community. Usually 311 in communities has some access to services and stuff like that, or 211. So check your area, because they might have some good resources for you to get like groceries, or do, community gardening, or if you need legal help. And there's all kinds of mutual aid organizations throughout the country. And hopefully people who are in rural areas can also get access to some support. But I think that's going to be more and more important, and probably should be the way it is, right? Like probably is a good kind of natural state for the country, is for us to be helping each other. At the same time, the government has done as much as they can, and are doing as much as they can to put as many people in deeper in poverty than they are already, or to undermine any attempt for them to get health care and other things. So makes me sad. So this is from the Washington Post. Trump sought to break Iran's regime. He settled for reopening Hormuz, or the hormone strait, if you so imbibe. The emerging agreement ends a costly war, but leaves Iran's leadership intact and its nuclear future still subject to negotiation. Yeah, great. Good job, everybody. President Trump declared an end to his campaign against Iran's leaders with an exhortation on Sunday. Ships of the world, start your engines. Let the oil flow. This is so dumb. Sorry. With the Iranian regime still in place, he was celebrating the resumption of the way the world was on February 27th, the day before the United States and Israel attacked Iran. And Israel says we're not part of any deal. Hello? Is anybody paying attention to that? Because they're definitely saying we're not part of any deal. Well, then what's the point? Because this is Israel's war. So what's the point? And the fact that strong men can't even stand up to other strong men should be absolutely maddening. If you were because women stand up to him all the time. So sorry, we already do the work. But these world leaders, like he's going to meet with Macron. I think we should probably pull up the Macron thing. Why aren't they standing up to him? I mean, I've worked in a corporation at high levels, so I understand how the C-suite works in a corporation, right? In a publicly traded corporation, mind you. So I have some pretty good insight on the way the corporations think when the doors are closed. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to say that there's times when you need to actually say something. Like, this is banana cuckoo town. I don't know. I can't even believe this. I can't believe we're here. It's an unbelievable Monday. Yeah, we've got a lot of conspiratard. I don't even know what that means. Wait, where is it? Where is it? Donald Dump's name's coming off the thing. Good. Isn't that great? How strong man do you have to be to put up a tarp for people taking your name off a building because you don't want to hear them cheering? How soft? I mean, if you want to say soft is bad, how soft do you have to be to get so butthurt that you insist that they put up a fucking tarp so people can't see the letters of your name coming off a wall? Alex Payne, because it's all a movie. Oh, well, there you go. Well, then Chase, I guess we don't need to do anything. All right, let's just watch movies. Whatever. Let's just go eat all you can eat shrimp. Whatever. Who cares? You're right. It's very simple. Yeah. Thank God you're here. Thank God this guy's here. Let me see if I can get anything from the G7. Yikes. Where's my G7? Where's my G7? Where's my G7? Yeah. You are the one watching the movie. Oh, don't go in the closet. The monster is in there. Oh, Chase, you're so smart. God, where have you been all my life? Chase, why don't you DM me your details so that we can continue this conversation offline. Oh man, it must be nice in that basement. Keep believing in this bullshit. What am I believing? What do you think, Chase? They're in the vertical because they're sitting in their basement waiting for mom to bring them a hot pocket. Mom, where are you with that hot pocket? Coffee's brewing. Everyone is gonna be alive. They're in another dimension. They're in my head. It's all right, Chase. It's all right. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I know. They won't say what they really think. Oh, he's in Idaho. Or they're in Idaho, I should say. Sorry, Chase. I don't mean to gender you. I like Idaho. Idaho's really beautiful. Anyway, let's get back to the article because I do have to read that. I want to get through this. Hold on. Stick around, Chase. You might learn something. Okay, I don't need to know anything about you, Chase. All right? You can keep that to yourself. Nobody gives a shit. All right? Calm down. Your version's diagonal. What? The JC is James Cameron. No, he's already made it, I think, Jane. Unfortunately, I think he's already made it. Yeah. That figures. I do. I love Idaho. I remember staying in the Holiday Inn in Idaho as a kid, and they had a pool inside the hotel, and I thought that was the fucking coolest thing. Chase, just calm down, all right, honey? Just calm down. Relax. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Give her a minute. Give her a minute. Okay. But you got to be nice or else we're going to kick you out. So don't be an asshole because otherwise with the Iranian regime still in place, he was celebrating a resumption of the way the world was on February 27th, the day before the United States and Israel attacked Iran. Return to a version of the status quo was a far cry from the original aims of a war effort that kicked off with a vow to come to the aid of the Iranian protesters who had taken to their nation's streets to denounce their regime. One strikes killed Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, in the opening hours of the war. Dump told Iranians that the moment to seize back their nation had come. An uprising never happened. In the nearly 4 months since Iranian leaders, unfortunately, Chase, you're already dumb, and I'm so sorry, but you're gonna be gone. Bye. Okay. In history, shut down the Strait of Hormuz, cripple global energy markets, and drive such a deep wedge between Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu that, well, okay, is there really a wedge that the U.S. leader spent part of his 80th birthday cursing out his Israeli counterpart? Gershon. Oh, what's that? Gershon? And voila, the Chase account reveals itself a liar. I don't know. Whatever. I don't even give a shit. In promoting a deal that halted the fighting, Dump and his top lieutenant said Iran had agreed not to pursue a nuclear weapon, but Iran leaders who have made similar pledges repeatedly for decades suggested Sunday that the difficult conversations about their nuclear program were still ahead and would come only after the U.S. naval blockade on their ports was lifted. I think Chase is a troll. I think it's pretty much. Oh, thanks. I kind of like, yes. Oh, Yes. Yeah, it doesn't really. Thank you. Now I understand. And I know which one you mean. Thank you very much. Sorry. Oh no, how do I get it off? Oh shit. I don't know how to get that off. I deleted it and now I can't unshow. I should show someone else. Let's see. Potato juice. There we go. We'll get rid of it that way. Oh, I love this. Oh my God. Okay. With the details of Sunday's agreement still not public and nuclear issues a question mark, experts said it was too early to assess the full legacy of a conflict that spanned 5.5 weeks of intense fighting, followed by more than 2 additional months of an uneasy truce as global oil stocks drained. Really? But Trump's approach has shifted. Rather than exhort Iranians to overthrow their repressive leaders, the focus is now on bargaining with the regime. The president has pushed back on military action that might jeopardize the peace, as he did Sunday with Netanyahu. As far as regime change, I never cared about regime change, Trump told the Wall Street Journal on Sunday. Iran's current leadership is the third group we've dealt with, and this is the most rational group yet. He's always said that, and that's a lie, okay? That's a fucking lie, and why the WAPO continues to fucking say it as if it were something that happened is disingenuous. Your life ain't nothing but a movie. Wait a minute. Here we go. Now we're really getting mad. I'm on a break and I'm tired of my taxes paying to feed these uneducated, lazy MAGA deadbeats. Get out of your mama's basement or double wide and go get a fucking job. Darren's mad. All right, Darren, you said it. You said it, dude. Thanks for the hug. I kind of like this, actually. These new folks sometimes. 1D hum. Okay. Okay, the most rational. Sure they are. Dump and his backers say the war was a major success. Oh my God. Wiping out several ranks of top leaders, destroying more of Iran's already damaged nuclear program, and eliminating its conventional navy. However, now the Strait is dangerous and they can shut it anytime they want to. Other countries know they can shut it anytime they want to. I still wonder why the Suez Canal was never closed. Because if you were really a force to be reckoned with, right, you'd be closing all the waterways. And you've shown that, or at least somebody has intimated that the Iranians supported the Houthis. So I'm sorry, where were the Houthis this whole time? Where were the Houthis this whole time? Why isn't the Suez Canal been closed? So something is rotten in Denmark, I think. And this whole manipulative, I'm going to announce on my birthday that we have a deal, even though we don't have a deal. But then prices are going to go down, and then I'll pretend we have a deal. And then when Friday comes around and it's time to sign the deal, all of a sudden we won't have a deal because actually we haven't worked out any of this shit. This is incompetence. It's not only cruelty, evil, kind of determined to live with impunity, right? It is literally, I don't know. I can't with this. Like the world is so much worse because of this. And we did it. If the Iranians comply with this deal, it's going to fundamentally transform the Middle East for the next 50 years. No, it's not. No, it's not. Exactly. There you go. This is true. Iran-Contra. Hello? Yeah. Iran can take the $324 billion and close it again anytime they feel like the deal's not working for them. Because you're not cutting out the root. You're not basically, you know what you do in world conflict? This is what I think you do. This is my dumb idea. When you have a world conflict, like Russia supports Iran. We don't like Iran. What I would do if I didn't like someone, or if I was like, I don't want to fight with those guys, I would go to them and say, let's trade. Let's trade. Hi, Paul. You know, like, let's trade. And I would almost cut Russia out of the deal. I would make it impossible for bad actors to try and use other actors to get at me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just stupidity, Lee. It's like actual, I can't cut a deal. You know, it's like the Dunning-Kruger of administrations, where they think they know how to run an administration, but really at the end of the day, they don't. So everything they do is kind of half-assed and nothing is really written down. You know what I mean? Exactly. Why would Iran agree to anything given this fucking clown car? And you know what? It sounds like Iran did the right thing. They came out and said, yeah, here's what's in the deal, everybody. Boom, 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 bitch. That was pretty fucking smart of Iran, if you ask me. Hi, Sharon Brown. How are you? You know, like, that was pretty fucking smart for them to come out after he says, we've got a deal. And for them to say, yeah, and here's what the deal is, bitches. And reminder, Reagan did a secret deal with Iran to delay the hostage release until Inauguration Day. This is all like kayfabe, and unfortunately, real people die. Real Iranians die. Real people in Qatar die. Real people in the UAE. Real people in Iraq. Lebanon. My God. Poor Lebanon. They're just like, we're just sitting here, okay? We're just trying to do our shit. I mean, this is so dumb. This is so dumb. I'm sorry. If the Iranians, okay, JD Vance, couch fucker, told Fox News on Sunday, this entire region of the world has been a basket case for my entire life and longer than that. Yeah, and here we go. The Israelis denounced the Trump deal with Iran. Hello. Attention, blanks on vertical. Oh, sucks. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I just like, what? Some Middle East experts question that, even as many said that a deal ended the fighting and reopened the strait was likely superior to the alternative of continued war. Oh, okay. So there you go. The bright side is that you get, you know, you get not a continued war. Hey, Chaz, thank you so much. Charlie, thanks for the thumbs up, dude. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Oh, congratulations, Sharon, on the Stanley Cup. Oh boy. Don't make the Canadians too mad. Don't make them sad. Charlie's a good egg. He's a great troll. He's a good egg. Let's see. Okay. If this agreement goes forward as reported, it will leave a brutal regime in control of Iran and in control of most of the tools it uses to threaten the region: ballistic missiles, drones, and a weaker but still dangerous regional proxy network in Lebanon, Iraq, and Yemen, said Brian Katulis, a senior fellow at the Middle East Institute. Well, that sounds great. That sounds real great. If you had told me 25 years ago that the Hurricanes would be the Stanley Cup champions, I'd have never believed it. Well, dreams do come true. They can happen to you. Yeah. She is dead. It is family. Trump backed down in a real sense, Katulis said. I know, babe. You got this. I learned from you, Chaz. I learned from you. Trump backed down here in a real sense, Katulis said. He knew that there were no good military options, so he had to get some sort of a deal. Now, you're in vertical? Okay, be safe. Both sides are going to claim victory. That's what the next 4 or 5 days will be about. This is so stupid. As Trump sold his deal, some of his staunchest backers from the tough on Iran flank of his coalition questioned whether an end to the fighting now left the world in a better place. Well, no, it didn't, okay? Because Oh my God, you can just look at the surface stuff and say this was terrible and we didn't win. We're literally giving them more money and more concessions than ever before. I have asked for days. Oh, this is Mark Levine. Boy, you've lost Mark Levine. You've lost MAGA. I have asked for days. Why can't we, the people, see the damn MOU? Not through people briefed by an anonymous person, radio host Mark Levine wrote on X. Levine has spoken frequently to Trump about Iran issues over the course of the second term. Honestly, I've never seen anything like this. If it's a great outcome for peace, then release it, because it's not, Mark. Another Trump confidant, Senator Lindsey Graham, also politely questioned the terms of the deal, saying he was somewhat concerned that Iran's account of the agreement differed from the American one. Really? Really? Okay. Jesus. Under our law, any nuclear deal with Iran will be sent to Congress for review and a vote. I will look forward to reviewing the final product, Lindsey wrote on X, where he referred to Vance as the architect of the deal. They're going to pin this on Vance. They're going to pin it on Vance. They're going to pin it on Vance. Ooh, this could be a cat fight. This could be a kitten fight. Iranian leaders said Sunday that the terms of the deal would be published only after it is signed Friday, a decision that insulates the agreement from outside lobbying, but may also increase the risk if it falls apart as negotiators continue to discuss details. Iranian policymakers said little about nuclear issues Sunday, a clear difference in emphasis from the U.S. side. They suggested that they would need significant sanctions relief before agreeing to major concessions on that issue. This is not done by any fucking stretch. Yikes. Oh my God. Negotiators will now need to discuss a moratorium on further enrichment of nuclear fuel, as well as the fate of Iran's existing stockpile of highly enriched uranium, which Tehran developed after Trump pulled out of the Obama-era nuclear deal in 2018. I'm going to say this right now. Iran's existing stockpile of uranium developed after Trump pulled out of the JCPOA. He is not the technician, okay? He is not the warmonger. He does not know how to... Oh, my God. This is so dumb to me. Oh, wait, who? I'm ignoring who? What am I ignoring? I might be missing... Did someone block me? Because I can't see whatever. She's ignoring you. What does that mean? One of my college roommates briefly dated Rod Brindamore when he was at Michigan State. Oh. Mm-hmm. Wait, where's Junior? Did I miss a Junior? Am I saying something? Did I do something? I'm doing something wrong. I don't even know. I don't even know what's happening. What's happening? No. But he's a great businessman. No, he's really not. That's the problem. Okay, Iran knows how to drag out those negotiations and try to pocket concessions along the way. Dan Shapiro, who worked on Iran issues under the Biden administration and was the U.S. ambassador to Israel when the 2015 Iran deal took shape, posted on X. It's possible that no deal will ever be reached, and very likely that if one is... Oh, the Carolina coach. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, wow. Got it. Okay. It is possible that no deal will ever be reached, and very likely that if one is reached, it will be worse than what we could have achieved through diplomacy before the war. See, we didn't have diplomats that were ever intending to diplomat. You see? So there wasn't ever... The efforts at diplomacy were weak and not sophisticated and not relevant. Negotiation isn't just going in this is not a real estate deal for Steve Witkoff. This is not a real estate deal. This is life and death. Many lives and many deaths. The legacy of Sunday's agreement is likely to be narrower, Shapiro said, one with a lesson for Iran that it may want to use in the future. Getting the Strait of Hormuz open is the most important outcome of this agreement, Shapiro said. Iran has taken a theoretical point of leverage and turned it into a very real and powerful one, imposing costs across the global economy and rattling dump. Yeah, okay. 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 Yes, I am. Okay. I want to also say that I brought this up the other day on a post, and I wanted to bring it up again. Oops. This is just one email from the Epstein files, and I want you to look at the CC. And I want you to look at the date. So I wonder what was Todd Blanche's involvement with Epstein stuff prior to his death? Now, I think they're sharing a Rachel Maddow thing or something. But I'm kind of curious. This is like one of like 4 emails that I found that mentioned him prior to, you know, really the current day or the current investigation. His name is in there a lot because of the current investigations or the current release of documents, I should say. But this was from earlier, and I'm just not sure why Todd Blanche would have been anywhere in the Epstein world prior to 2025, right? Like, why would he be involved in that? I don't know. I don't have any answers. I just have a lot of questions. Because this is just one of 4. There's 3 others that I found, and I'm sure there's more. But it's just really interesting to me. I mean, there's nothing specifically insinuating, you know, any kind of untoward stuff. I mean, he's just a CC. But I'm just curious. It just seems awfully coincidental that Todd would have been around during that time, and now look at him. I don't know. Again, I'm just a bush poker. I poke bushes. It sounds terrible. But anyway. Dun, 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 dun. Wait, is this it? Let's take this. Let's take this. Let's take that. No. Let's see. Let me see. Oh yeah, this I wanted to read. So this I know. You're gonna get your $4. Don't worry. Okay. Switch to this. Switch to that. Okay. This is from the New York Times from today. Deal to reopen Hormuz kicks off long effort to ease energy crisis. The pace of recovery will depend on how confident companies are that the deal between the United States and Iran will hold and be extended. Yeah. The long-awaited deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz brought quick relief to the oil market, sending prices to their lowest levels since early March. Getting substantial amounts of oil and gas flowing, however, will take much longer. It can take weeks or months, even in the best of times, to get oil and gas from the wells in the Persian Gulf to buyers in China or Japan. The first big test for whether the deal will work is whether it gives shipping companies enough confidence to send their vessels through the strait, a narrow waterway separating Iran from the Arabian Peninsula. If they do, tankers that have been stranded in the Persian Gulf will be able to bring much-needed fuel to buyers around the world. What comes after that will depend a lot on how long companies think the reopening will last. I can't even believe we did this. I just can't believe we did this. Like, literally, we upended the international economies. I don't. Okay. What comes after that will depend a lot on how long companies think the reopening will last. The United States and Iran agreed to a 60-day truce during which they would try to reach a broader agreement on Iran's nuclear weapons program and U.S. sanctions around the country, against the country, rather. That should be enough for empty vessels that are near the strait to make the journey to ports in countries like Iraq or Kuwait and back out again. But it might be a tougher calculus for tankers farther away, particularly if ship owners have doubts about the durability of the deal. Another big question is whether oil and natural gas producers in the Gulf will have the confidence to begin the difficult work of bringing wells, refineries, and other infrastructure back online. All told, Gulf countries slashed up to 15 million barrels a day of oil production this spring, or nearly 15% of global supply. You're talking about 6 to 12 months to be able to find some sort of equilibrium, while Sawan, the chief executive of the London-based oil giant Shell, said in an interview with the New York Times last month, this assumes everything comes back on stream quickly, which is challenging because some of the infrastructure has been damaged. That is not to say that fuel will remain this pricey for the better part of a year. If the deal holds and is extended, oil prices will most likely remain much lower than they were at the height of the conflict, helping to bring down prices at the pump. Oil was $60 a barrel in January, February. $60 a barrel. We did this. It didn't have to happen. I mean, it's just like, it's like they did the opposite of what you're supposed to do. Yeah, see, Lee, this is interesting because I do think that this benefit, I mean, that's what I'm always asking myself. When things like this happen, who benefits, right? Obviously, the oil companies and other people who have a higher priced commodity, benefited. And it feels to me like they feel like they can at least turn the faucet on and off when they want to with the pressure on Dump and his regime. I would imagine there's more people obviously involved, like commerce and, treasury and all that stuff. Energy. Which those guys to me are part of the worst group of the entire cabinet is useless, but there's a group of people that I think are very damaging and very much wanting to hide whatever crimes they have or will commit. And I think about people like Zeldin, Beasley, Nutlicker, especially. So I feel like, and Burgum I think is a big part of this too. So I feel like those people are really definitely willing to upend the global, peace for their own monetary benefit and the elimination of accountability. Oh my God. It's just so, I'm sick to my stomach. I literally have a stomach ache now. That said, it's unlikely that the prices of gasoline, diesel, and other fuels will return to the pre-war levels anytime soon. What the fuck is happening? Even in countries like the United States that are not facing shortages, energy prices aren't just going to snap back to where they were pre-conflict, said Jennifer McCown, a chief global economist at Capital Economics, a consulting firm. Asian and European countries where many energy users struggled at times to get enough fuel will face a long wait given how long it takes for tankers to move around the world, refineries to turn crude into the products used in cars, trucks, and planes, and local distribution networks to get it where it is needed. It will take at least 4 months to get back to 80% of pre-conflict flows, Sultan Ahmed Al-Jaber, who leads the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company, told the Atlantic Council in May. Full flows will not return before the first or even second quarter of 2027. That's next summer. Already, high oil prices have taken a big toll on demand, which has fallen more than in any period besides COVID-19 pandemic. That's interesting. I didn't realize that because that was very significant. Already, high oil prices have taken a big toll on oil demand, which has fallen more than in any period beside the COVID-19 pandemic, according to S&P Global Energy. That's really interesting. The research firm estimated that global consumption of oil and related fuels would fall nearly 5% in the second quarter. The International Energy Agency forecast a more modest demand drop. The longer term implications of the crisis will depend on where Iran ends up and how comfortable the world is, what assurances they have that flows will remain uninterrupted. Darren Woods of ExxonMobil. Sorry, everybody. Where's this G7? Wait, okay, so at 5:20 GMT. What's that? What time is that? Wait, 5:20. Where is this in France? Okay, so that's what, 9 hours? Wait, what is it? What is it now? 10, 9, 18. Oh, so it should be in 20 minutes. Okay, I get it. Okay. It happened in a time when Russia refining capabilities were under attack. We dropped sanctions and their earnings went, refilling the war coffers. I know, that's the thing. I mean, if you wanted to call this a conspiracy, and I wouldn't be able to argue against that too well, because when you think about it, if it's not Putin and Trump and Bibi trying to fuck it all up so that they can, get away with their land grabs, right? Like I could see them thinking that, like I don't know. It just it's maddening. But I'm looking at this. This is going to happen, I think, in about 20 minutes. So we'll see if we're around for that, but we'll probably be around actually, and see what's happening there. I don't know. We'll see. Actually, let me move this over here. I've got more to read. Don't worry. Yeah. Because speaking of which, let me read you this one. See? Put the money in the bag, see? This is also from WAPO from yesterday. Oil executives warn White House that gas prices will get worse. This is June 11th. I mean, I guess it's 2 days ago. No, it's 4 days ago. Sorry. It's Friday. Oil and gas executives have warned the White House that gasoline prices could surge in the coming months as fuel inventories fall to critical lows. So do you think that's why we had to announce a deal on Sunday? This was on Friday. Wait, when was this? What was the 11th? The 11th was Friday? Do you think this conversation had anything to do with the announcement on Sunday? Do you think? Because inflation went up last week too. Oh my God. I hadn't told Jim that we watched Soylent Green. That's so cute. Congratulations to Jim on getting in the New York Times article too about Kash Patel. I'm glad his story is out. I want Jim's story to be out. I'm sick of people attacking Jim, but he's done nothing to anyone. And I'm sick of it. So fucking stop coming for him. Let him do his thing. I'm done. I'm so done with that bullshit. That to me is a distraction. So, way to go, Jim. Fight the good fight. Let's see. Yeah, so what about that? So I think if you want to talk about like conspiracies, I don't know. This seems like pretty fucking coinkadinky. That oil and gas last week would have warned the White House, blah, 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 or this story comes out at least that warning came through. And then all these other things. Yeah, he's in the New York Times. I got to find it. I thought I had it bookmarked, but for some reason, I don't think I did. It was great. It was good to have his story out there. Let me see. Oil and gas executives. Okay. I'll find it and I'll read the part about that. Oil and gas execs have warned that the White House that gasoline prices could surge in the coming months as fuel inventories fall to critical lows, complicating the Trump administration's effort to contain inflation. See, this is the thing. Inflation comes out. This news kind of breaks. Now on Sunday, we've got like the deal of the century, but we don't really have the deal of the century. Industry officials say they're doing everything they can to sound an alarm about prices, that prices are about to soar as the commercial and government inventories that have mitigated price rises so far are rapidly depleting. according to multiple people familiar with the conversations, who spoke on the condition of anonymity for fear of retaliation from the administration. Some inventories could be wiped out within weeks, the executives have warned, coinciding with the peak summer travel season. Yeah, I know. I was looking for bathing suits. I have absolutely no doubt the White House, from the president on down, is fully aware of the nearly universal alarm among oil companies and analysts about the direction of travel for oil prices this summer, said Bob McNally, who was an energy advisor in the George W. Bush administration and founded the research firm Rapidan Energy Group. The warnings underscore the rising political and economic risk confronting Dump as the conflict with Iran drags into its fourth month, with little indication that a diplomatic breakthrough is imminent, despite periodic White House predictions of progress. Already, Dump's administration is confronting the highest rate of inflation in 3 years, which has led to significant drop in his standing among voters and deepened concern among Republicans about widespread losses in the midterm elections, which could cause them to lose control of one or both houses of Congress. Please let it be so we can just right some of these wrongs. I know it's not going to be perfect, but please, can we just fucking right some of these wrongs? Because there's stuff that's really hurting people on a daily basis. And it's not just, me being angsty about what's happening with human rights. It's actual human rights being violated. And that has to stop. So, God damn it, let's take both houses of Congress and force our Congress to really make changes and put things back so that people can survive. Start with the fucking subsidies. Start with the subsidies for the ACA people. Start with the removal of work requirements for Medicaid. Get rid of all that bullshit. Put back DEI. I could come up with a few things right away. Sorry, I don't know where I went off that rant. Sorry about that. The Labor Department's Consumer Price Index rose at a 4.2% annual pace in the year ending May, driven by surging gas prices. Dump has publicly brushed off concerns about the rising prices. I love it. I love the inflation, Trump told reporters on Wednesday when asked about the new figures. Oil prices will drop like a rock once the war concludes. Industry executives suggest otherwise. The billionaires say a different story, literally. The war with Iran has snarled the Strait of Hormuz, the waterway that transported about 1/5 of the world's oil and natural gas supplies before the war, and fertilizer. Trump has repeatedly sought to assure the public that he is close to a deal to reopen the strait, but that's not happened. Well, then comes Sunday. Senior oil executives who typically avoid making alarming projections in public have been doing exactly that. We're sounding the alarm on these inventories going to record lows, said American Petroleum Institute CEO Mike Summers on Mornings with Maria, a Fox Business program that Trump frequently watches. We should be concerned about what prices we're going to see over the next few weeks. We have to solve this problem in the Strait of Hormuz. Y'all, come on, please. Can we please admit that all of this weekend is because of all this and none of it is real? I mean, I guess Chase was right. We're just watching a movie. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. All right. Industry officials who spoke on the condition of anonymity to avoid antagonizing the White House said the administration's reception to their worries has been mixed. Oh, really? Oh my God. Some officials, they say, are taking the posture that the warnings are hollow. Prices have not shot up towards $200 a barrel, despite warnings since the war against Iran started in late February that they would quickly head there. The U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve has dropped to 349.2 million barrels, approaching a multi-decade low last seen in 1983. The exact date reserves start to run dry can be difficult to calculate because they cannot be run all the way down. Millions of barrels of oil need to remain in pipelines and refineries to keep the systems from breaking down. Analysts and industry executives warn the critical moment could come from anywhere from the end of this month to closer to the end of summer. But they are universally anxious about how quickly the supply is declining. Boop. Industry models show the collapse of crude inventories within a matter of weeks could push the cost of oil up by 50% or more, sending the price of gas at the pump soaring past $5 per gallon. Oil execs worry that that will send the administration scrambling to impose emergency measures like restricting the export of U.S. fuel. A senior White House official said more information from the industry is good, and the administration will continue to take information from oil and gas executives into account. But that's one piece of the larger picture that only the president has, said the official, who spoke on the condition of anonymity to describe the private deliberations. The price of gas has consistently gone down for the past couple of weeks, the official said. Really? The official attributed that to the steps the administration has taken to ease prices, including waiving the Jones Act. I don't think they have which governs the ships that can serve U.S. ports and coordinating the release of 170. So about half our U.S. reserves they released. The national average for gallon of gas on Wednesday was $4.15, down from $4.52 a month ago, according to data from AAA. The prices fell in part because of reports of peace negotiations in the conflict, but the latest exchange of attacks is jeopardized. The president is focused on finishing the job. Okay, I don't even give a shit what he says. I don't care. I don't care. All right, I have to figure out how to copy this, though. Can I copy? That's okay. I know what I'm doing. Times. Wow. Yeah, here we go. I got it. Yeah, thank you, for that. Thank you. Oh, I hate the sound of my mouse. I got to get a better mouse. Okay. This is the New York Times. Yeah. Kash Patel keeps suing the press. Yeah. The FBI director, following a strategy from Dump, filed 6 defamation lawsuits against news media companies and commentators in nearly 7 years. Oh, he's a litigious little bitch, isn't he? Oh. In 2019, Kash Patel, then a White House aide, objected to how news outlets portrayed his role in President Dump's dealings with Ukraine. It's time that I began fighting back, Mr. Patel said at the time. He sued Politico, the New York Times, and CNN. In 2023, Mr. Patel, then a roving pro-Trump commentator, took offense to the work of a blogger who had bashed his record and called him a chud, a derogatory term progressives use to describe MAGA followers. He sued the blogger Jim Stewartson for $10 million in damages. Jim, yeah, I know him. Well, wouldn't it be great if Jim came into the chat right now? No, I'm kidding. And in April, Mr. Patel, now the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, seethed over an article in The Atlantic that reported alarm among some colleagues over his erratic behavior and alleged heavy drinking. He soon sued the publication, demanding $250 million in damages. Mr. Patel has yet to reach a settlement or favorable jury verdict in the cases. Each of the news organizations he has sued has defended its journalism and said it was protected first by the First Amendment. But the strategy is a familiar one. Mr. Dump, the man who appointed Mr. Patel to lead the FBI, has long turned to the courts when faced with unfavorable press coverage. And perhaps no one in his 2 administrations has followed his lead as closely as Patel, who has filed at least 6 defamation lawsuits against news media companies and commentators in nearly 7 years. In some of the cases, Mr. Patel filed strongly worded complaints, only to allow them to languish in the ups and downs of civil litigation, a trajectory that some legal experts said raised questions about his objectives. Oh, really? Yeah, it's right. The goal here, Sonia's got it. Here you got it. Yeah, MAGA got fucked hard, yeah, and not in a good way. The goals here, said Sonia R. West, professor at University of Georgia School of Law, appear to be to muddy the narrative, run up the opponent's legal bills, and send a message to journalists that if you cover us critically, it's going to cost you a lot of time and money. That is the story right there. That's what all of this is. That's what all of this has been. Jesse Bennell Idiot. A lawyer in Virginia who represents Patel said in an email, Director Patel pursues these cases to win them, and anyone who thinks he would tolerate anything less than aggressive, expeditious accountability simply doesn't know the man like I do. He's won nothing, by the way. Oh, good. Director Patel pursues. Oh, wait. I already read that. Ah! My eyes are burning. Hi, Jim. Jim, I'm reading an article about a chud. Thanks for coming in, Jim. That was really nice. Thank you. It's good to see you, bud. I love you, Jim. Jim and I jammed a Journey once in a car. Don't stop. I love you, Jim. I really do. You're the best. Uh-oh, I just went shopping for... Shoot. Okay. Here we go. Love you, babe. I love you, babe. Mean it. The suits constitute another front on which news organizations have been forced to spend time and money to defend their work in the Trump era. Others include steady public criticism from top officials, including Mr. Dump. Fresh interview. Oh, yeah. Is this a fresh interview, Jim? Or did they use other interviews that you've done with them? Congrats, Jim. It's so cool. Oh, yeah, except for the case. Yeah, except for the fact you're being sued for $10 million. I love you too, bud. Let's see. Others include steady public criticism from top officials, including Mr. Dump, limitations on access to White House and Pentagon, leak investigations that ensnare national security reporters, and investigations by the FCC. So it kind of seems like maybe this administration doesn't want you to know certain things because they keep going after with the people. The interview with the reporter, is that what you're asking? Let's see. Exact numbers on public officials who filed defamation claims are hard to come by, said Michael Norwick, a lawyer at Media Law Resource Center, a group that assists news organizations. Even so, Mr. Norwick, who's worked at the center for 15 years, says, I don't remember this being a thing, and now it's a thing. Rondell Anderson Jones, a professor at the University of Utah S.J. Quinney College of Law, said via email that there were examples of defamation suits from the officials who had completed their time in public service, but that she was unaware of cases predating Mr. Dump in which officials had wielded law enforcement or other executive level leverage power that they can couple with the pressure of the suit. Yeah, doesn't this seem like it should be kind of like, like wrong? A swing and a miss. Yeah, I think he's asking you, Jim. Oomph is asking you if if you were interviewed for this, for this investigation a long time ago, or if you were interviewed more recently. I don't know. I think that's what he's asking. Is that what you're asking, Oomph? I'm pretty sure. Miss Anderson Jones said the suits against news media companies had forced her to remove a line she had used in lectures for her entire career, which had said top government officials, including the president, do not sue for libel. An FBI spokesperson said that even government officials should have recourse to address what they deemed malicious lies in the news media. Mr. Patel and Banal face an uphill battle in court, if they ever get to court. To recover damages in a defamation suit against a news organization, a public official like Mr. Patel would have to prove not only that the journalists about the month ago... Oh, okay, thanks, Jim. Mr. Patel would have to prove not only that the journalists had published a damaging falsehood, but also that they had done so knowingly or with reckless disregard of the truth, a legal standard known as actual malice. When Mr. Patel sued the Times in 2019 over its coverage of Dump's dealing with Ukraine, his complaint contained about 750 words of biography. He called himself a brilliant... Wait.
I am a brilliant attorney. I am trusted. And wait, what? Trusted advisor. I am a staunch proponent and defender of the rule of law. And I want $45 million in damages. That's right. Along with interest. I'm never going to get 6% a year anywhere else. But you know what? With Cash Patel, I'm going to demand 6%. Damn it. I don't care. Make it happen.
After all that buildup, Mr. Patel failed to serve court papers to the Times and later dropped the case. How does he have money to even start these cases? You talked to the reporter about Oh, interesting. Oh. Are there still past interviews that never were reported, as is my strong impression? I mean, maybe. That's a perfect impression of Jesse Banal. I wish I had a picture of Jesse Banal because I have a really great picture thumbnail of his head, but I can't find it. I need to put it up here because again, sometimes he raises his ugly I don't know, pear-shaped head. He's got an upside down pear-shaped head. I don't know. Anyway, thanks, Jim. You're love. Thanks for coming in. A similar situation unfolded when Mr. Patel sued Politico for what he argued were malicious efforts to destroy his career through its coverage of Mr. Dump's interactions with Ukraine. Politico moved to dismiss I didn't even know Patel was involved in the Ukraine stuff. I didn't even remember that. I can't even. After Mr. Patel did not serve the company with court documents for more than a year, leading to a reasonable presumption that he had abandoned his claims, according to a court filing. This is so terrible. Jesse Banal. I don't want to get you in trouble. Jesse Banal is the illegitimate child of Alfred E. Newman and Miss Piggy. Were you really surprised to get a call from NYT? Did you hear what made them call you about the lawsuit? Well, I mean, there's the lawsuits. If you're looking at the lawsuits that Patel has filed, Jim's lawsuit's right there. So it's probably not too hard. Didn't he work for Devin Nunes? I think he did. I don't know. I don't know the Jesse Banal stuff as well as the rest of obviously Jim knows it very well, and Gal Squad. How does one get interviewed? Well, I mean, they call you. I've been called by publications when I worked in certain industries for comments and stuff. But yeah, I would think that Jim would be part of this because his case is still active. They couldn't ignore me. Just try to ignore me. I won't be ignored. Mr. Patel dropped that suit but filed a new one, which is still active. His suits against the Times, Politico, and CNN were filed by his previous counsel, not by Mr. Banal's firm. Oh, yeah, no, those are old. Mr. Patel drew a rebuke from a federal judge. Here we go. Yeah, baby. Mr. Patel drew a rebuke from a federal judge in Nevada for failing to pursue his case against Mr. STEWARTSON, the blogger. The blogger. I'm going to call you a blogger. Hey, blogger. For more than a year, a gap that Mr. Banal in an email to the Times attributed to a careful and deliberate legal strategy. Litigation is ongoing. Oh, Banal, yeah. He does. Yeah, actually he does. You're right. I think he did work for Devin Nunes. I'm pretty sure you're right about that. In his public statements, Patel is prone to sweeping condemnations of news organizations. Traces of that language surface in his lawsuits. His complaint against CNN, for instance, included claims of a brutal attack on Cash's reputation and a continuation of a past smear Substacker. I deliberately call myself a blogger in this context. Well, I mean, in essence, that's what you do. I mean, yeah, sure. I don't care what you call me. But don't call me a chud. That's right. It also said CNN had defamed Mr. Patel by reporting that he worked to discredit the special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. An odd claim for a man who would go on to characterize that investigation in a book as a taxpayer-funded hit job from a group of government gangsters. So there. He abandoned his claims related to the matter during an appeals court hearing. In affirming the dismissal of Mr. Patel's 2020 suit against CNN, a Virginia appeals court found that his claims were conclusory and not binding and fell short of actual malice. It also awarded CNN $150 in damages. The network declined to comment. Supreme Court declared in 1964 that public debate may feature vehement, caustic, and sometimes unpleasantly sharp attacks on government officials, as Mr. Patel is now learning. That's right. In April, a federal judge in Texas dismissed a lawsuit filed by Mr. Patel against Frank Figliuzzi, a retired official and TV commentator who had knocked Mr. Patel's work habits last year on the MS Now program Morning Joe, saying the FBI director was far more visible at nightclubs than at the agency's headquarters. The judge dismissed the suit on the grounds that Mr. Figliuzzi's remark amounted to rhetorical hyperbole that cannot constitute defamation. In an email, Mr. Banal said, although we agree that Mr. Figliuzzi is not a serious person, the notion that more you exaggerate the lie, the more legally protected you become is not a coherent reading of the law. Okay, Banal. Mr. Stewardson, the blogger, also stood by the insults that he had slung by Mr. and Mr. Patel on social media. I thought it was hysterical that he put that in there. Mr. Stewardson said in an interview referring to Mr. Patel's references to be calling a chud, because how do you prove he's not a chud? This is brilliant. I love this. Fucking love you, Jim, man. I fucking love you. That is the best part. And it's the kicker. Fuck yeah. I love that. Congrats, Jim. You're this fucking shit they're trying to do needs to be put on fucking blast. So I'm down. I'm down for it. The more their ridiculousness gets exposed and how incredibly stupid this whole thing is, the better. So thank you, Jim, because you've definitely taken some fucking hits, and you continue to take hits just because people are stupid. Fucking fuckwads. God. Where's our let me just check on the G7. But I have a couple more articles that I really want to get to. Hi, Dan. Yeah, that's some Louvre level shit. Hell yeah. That's Louvre level shit, baby. That's right. Okay, let's see here. What do we got? Oh, there's Macron. Oui, pipi. Oh, here he comes. Oh, right on time. There he is. There's the big man himself. Oh, there's Macron. Yeah, no problem, Jim. Oh my God. Proud to know you, bud. Really, seriously. Proud to call you my friend. You're fighting for everyone, and yeah. So anyway, I think you're awesome. I think you're awesome. Wait, did they say anything? Oui. How can you prove he's not a chud? I mean, that's it. That's it. Mic drop. Where's my mic? I don't have a mic. Here, lighter drop. Oh, now I dropped my lighter. Damn it. Yeah, minus the reason that was awesome. Yeah. Oh, he looks pretty bad. Oh, look at him. He looks pretty bad.
Thank you.
Look at Macron, looks absolutely awesome. No, you go ahead. You help me down. She helped him? She helped him down? That's a nice suit. Maloney's got a nice suit on. Yeah, thank you for the link. Mange la merde, mon sautre. I love hearing people speak. I know. Eat shit. Georgia. Oh, I love you. How are you, darling? How are you, darling? She helped him walk down the fucking stairs. Ooh, that's gonna be bad. She's going to be in trouble for that. Yeah, she does dress well. For a fascist, she dresses well. I mean, it's Italian. It's the best suit ever, you know. They got good tailors.
See you later.
I kind of like Georgia's no bullshit style. She doesn't put on a poker face very well. So while I don't like your politics, are probably not my politics, but I kind of like her no bullshit, you know, I'm one of the guys kind of vibe. I'm okay with that. Here's Melts. Mr. Melts. Mrs. Melts. Yeah, I didn't order the weather. What the hell? That was weird. It does look nice. It's a beautiful day. Oh my god. Oh, here's Starmer and Mrs. Starmer. She's wearing a lovely dress. She looks like she's wearing her pajamas. I'm not gonna lie. I think she just didn't change her robe from getting off the plane from England. I'm kidding. Probably a really nice, expensive dress. Probably. I don't know. Why wear white? Sure. I can't tell what they're saying. I'm telling you, Macron's a good-looking guy, man. He's hot. I find him incredibly sexy. So just so you know. Clump smells like a porta potty with a French accent. It does look like an anthropology room.
We know what we're doing.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Starmer. I'm sorry. But we drag. We drag on this show. You know, another hot mic. All right, who's this? Who's this one? Who's this one? Bienvenue. Oh, it's Mr. Connie and Mrs. Connie. There you go. He's an elegant man, yeah. Connie's doing some shit, right? Mrs. Starmer's, no, I don't think that's indigenous. No, I don't think that was indigenous. Carney. He's a pretty good guy, huh? Pretty good guy. Oh, Mrs. Starmer's. I'm sorry. Oh, no. Yeah, I don't think that would have been. We practice equality in fashion reviews. Oh, yeah, I'll drag anybody. I will drag anyone. What are we doing? You guys take pictures or not? He was in Ireland hanging around his ancestral home. Oh. I don't know. Oh, this is the new emperor. Wait, is she an emperor or is she a prime minister of Japan? Is she a prime minister? Kind of like her. She's got a really good energy. She seems really smart, but she's really got some good energy too. I'm hoping she's a good person. I don't know. She's adorable. Hi, Macaroni. How you doing, bud? How you doing, bud? How you doing, bud? Macron, what is that horrible French you are speaking, Monsieur Khan? You sound like a peasant from Kurdistan.
Père.
It's like the political Oscars. She's not an empress? Oh, dang. Is she a prime minister? That's pretty cool. I wish they'd called her the empress, though. She does seem like good people, Mrs. Carney. Nice blue suit. I like the light blue. She's prime minister. Okay, thank you. I would have called her empress. I am good, Macaroni. Thank you for asking. I have a couple more articles that I want to read about the state of women's incarceration. So I have a report on that from 2025 that I wanted to kind of just touch on after this. And then I also have another story about Musk. Oh yeah, this is about the data center stuff happening in May.
T'as atterri où, à Genève? Ouais, il faut un quart d'heure.
See if I can find.
À la fin. Parfait. Je vais leur rejoindre.
The crimes of this regime. Oh wait, who's that gentleman? I didn't know who he was. Oh my God, there's Ursula! Look at her husband. Look at her husband.
You were the one to be right.
Ursula's married. Oh, I thought we would run away. Run away. I love her. I love her energy. I love her style. I love her brain. I don't think so. I don't think so, Jane. I don't know though. No, the other guy was from, I think he's the economic council guy for the EU. I think the guy that just came before Ursula is the economic council guy from the EU. I think.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Merci.
Exactement. On est bon?
Allez. Allez, fromage. Allez, omelette du fromage. My name is Amelie. I cook an egg in a spoon. Okay. Yeah. Ursula. Why is Ursula holding her arm that one way? Did Ursula hurt her arm? Look, they look like a fun couple. No, I don't think Putin's attending. I would doubt that. I don't think Macron would let Putin go in. Yeah, we're in the Shadow G7, the lounge, where we're really hear it all out. Wasn't she the leader mocked by Trump by pursing her lips when she talked downstairs? Oh, you know what? I don't know that, Macron. I hadn't heard that one. But I'm telling you right now, Ursula is my girl. She's my lady. She's my lady, and I love you. Blah, 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 blah. Boy, that's a really pretty... Where is this, actually? Where is the G7 this year? Let's check. Viens là-bas. That's right. Let me say, this is where it is. Sorry. I don't mean to be making... I'm not making fun of French. Yeah, Russia isn't in the G7. They have not been invited. It's Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, United Kingdom, United States, as well as the European Union. That's who they are. And it's in Evian. So they're going to be drinking a lot of water. Yeah, I know. He was actually pushing to include Putin in this particular meeting, I think. I think I heard that too. Let's see. Where is Evian, Le Bon? He's a commune in France. Oh my God. Okay, let's look at some pictures. Hold on. Eh bien là-bas. I'm probably saying it wrong. I don't speak French that well. Oh wait, let's do this. Okay, so this is where they are. Evian, Le Bain, the plage, hotel, city. It's very beautiful. Look, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Let's look at TripAdvisor. Evian, Le Bain, France. Please, get me out of there, please. Stop it! No, I do not want your stupid thing. There we go. La Fable Village de la Jean. These are all the hotels. I guess that's not really what you understand. I'm gonna see pictures of the area. Oh my god. Hang on. Happening. What's happening to me? Yeah. Yeah, these are just the hotels. Okay, that's not really helpful. That's not really helpful. Let's go do this. Yes. Boom, 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 boom. Wee, pee, pee. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful. Wow, it really is pretty. It's right on the Swiss border. Yeah, where's the Vulcan delegation? God damn it. We should start our own country, Mr. Spock. I would do that. Listen, I've been to France a number of times. People aren't snooty. If you're not an asshole, they're not an asshole. I love being in France. Please tell Clump something shocking, G7. Give Barry a... Yeah, exactly. You know what, though? He is looking a little bloated. I'm not going to lie. Okay? He's looking a little bloated. Let's not lie. Okay, so there's some water retention happening. Here's what I think is happening, and I could be totally wrong. Because congestive heart failure. That's what I think is happening. So, yeah. That's what I think is happening. I think he has congestive heart failure. I loved being in France. Oh my God. I loved Paris. I love Paris. I just love it. The Vulcan delegates got mixed up and went to the Balkans. Which they're having a great time there. That's right. We're going to go party. A party in the Balkans. I know. I've had nothing but good experience with French people. And they're very kind if you try to speak some French. They're very kind, I noticed. But anyway. Or they were just fooling me and talking about me behind my back, which is entirely possible. Okay, let me see. Where did I want to go after this? Hold on. I'm going to cough. I need to cough. Yeah, it's Switzerland. It's Switzerland. There's a bakery on every corner. Oh my God, Osso Buco. I mean, just all the food. And the style and everything. I don't know. I love it. I think it's cool. Okay, I have more. Don't leave me. I have more. I don't want that. Do 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 do. Well, all right. Actually, I'm gonna share another because I'll just keep the G7 up there. This is what I wanted to read to you. This is what I want to read to you. Yeah. Let's switch him up. Oh my God, there's Walmart Nosferatu. There he is right there. Montmartre. Oh my God. Ile-de-France. I just love the whole thing. I love the arrondissement. I like pretend like I speak French, but I don't. Oh well. Okay, sorry to put that on your screen, but you know, it is what it is. Now, this is from June 15th. That's from today, from the New York Times. Frustrated by courts, Trump Wade suspending a constitutional right. There you go. Secret memos. I remember 1974. I was 10 years old, and I remember when all of the stuff happened with Watergate. And I remember just even as a young child, I knew the gravitas of a president being held accountable for, for whatever. Like I remember that even at that young age, I remember that That was all very serious. Like, it was very serious. Uh-oh. Hold on. I'm going to mute you for a minute. That Trump shit is turning into some creepy religion. What does that mean, Jimmy? I mean, it's a good comment. Meowing. Hello, meowing star. Good morning. Meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. The Dormition Cathedral in the Kiev Pechersk. Oh, fuck. Lavra, an 11th century monastery complex and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, caught fire after what local authorities said was a direct hit. Fucking amazing. 11th century monastery complex. They don't care about anything. They don't give a shit about anything. So frustrating. I'm so done. God, man. I was in junior high at the time of Watergate and everyone was paying attention to it. Yeah, we watched all the hearings. I mean, even as a kid, I recall what was happening. I mean, I don't know. This world is so fucking fucked up. I can't even explain it. Okay. Secret memos, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Last spring, Will Scharf, an arch conservative lawyer serving as the White House staff secretary, wrote a secret memo to the yeah, they do. I know, Jimmy. And that orange god is a credibly alleged child rapist, and still they will do it. Yeah, why have any limits? Yeah. Will Scharf, an arch-conservative lawyer serving as the White House staff secretary, wrote a secret memo to the chief of staff that reflected growing unease in the West Wing about one of the extreme measures being weighed by Stephen Miller. See, Stephen Miller is the one we need to remove. Impeach, remove, indict, convict. Impeach, remove, indict, convict. That's it. Dated April 29th and 2025 and stamped confidential. The memo was carefully and lawyerly, but amounted to a warning against end running the rule of law. The subject line read, "The writ of habeas corpus." Habeas corpus, the centuries-old right to force the government to justify before a judge why it has locked a person up, is enshrined in Article 1 of the Constitution. Mr. Scharf's memo, in its unassuming way, was a blinking red light. The second Trump White House was deliberating an explosive new claim of presidential power, the suspension of habeas rights for unauthorized immigrants. The suspension of habeas corpus has occurred just a handful of times in U.S. history, and always under the most dire circumstances of war or invasion. Yet to a greater degree than previously known, administration officials encouraged by Dump actively weighed taking that step in the early months of his second term, this time to accelerate the mass deportation of immigrants in the country illegally. Basically, because I've never supported a politician in my life, much less this one. I am the enemy, and my family came to this country in 1760, Newport, Rhode Island. Yeah. That's not going to do anything. The administration will replace him. Yeah, but Stephen Miller is a pretty decent architect of some of this stuff. So I say get rid of all of them. GG fame. I'm not stopping with Stephen Miller, but he does need to be removed. He is part of the problem from an architect standpoint. Him, what's his name? Russell Vogt. He's another one. He's another one who's an architect behind the scenes that is hateable, you know, but is actually very dangerous, just as Stephen Miller is. Okay. Yeah, and everybody ends up on a wall. That's right. Yeah. And not all politicians are the same. I'm sorry. If you think that, then you're not watching. You're not paying attention, because there are definitely people in the United States Congress who are standing 10 toes down trying to fight with every fiber of their being, every move, every rule change, every bill. They are fighting for us. So I reject the outright every politician is bullshit, because they're not. And if that's the attitude, then you've already given up. And guess what? That's pretty fucking privileged. That's a pretty fucking privileged place to be. Yeah, he probably does hate himself for many reasons. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, anyway. Yet to a greater degree than previously known, administration officials encouraged by Dump, blah, blah, blah. Okay, sorry, I read that. Flush with the decisive 2024 election victory, Dump and some of the members of his team wanted to test. Oops, hold on. Sorry, I know, kid. I'll come back to it.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Let's go, guys, please. Let's go. Sorry for that.
Oh, wait, that's it?
Thank you.
Sorry, that was it. Sorry, that was it. That's all you get. Whatever. Oh, shit. Sorry, everybody. Okay, let's go back to this. Flush with it, blah, blah, blah. The man who outlined his concerns in the memo, Mr. Scharf, was no resistance figure. A trim, balding, Harvard-trained lawyer who had run for office in Missouri had bemoaned John McCain as too moderate for the 2008 Republican nomination and believed Mr. Dump had been vindictively prosecuted after his 2020 election loss. He had helped develop the Dump team legal argument behind the successful effort to get the Mar-a-Lago classified documents indictment thrown out. There you go. That's right, baby. As well as the arguments behind presidential immunity case that prevailed at the Supreme Court. He had embraced the most contentious elements of Mr. Dump's agenda, but was quickly coming up against the limit of what the Constitution in his reading could be made to bear. So even one of their true believers was like, they showed his entrance, and he had to have, Mrs. Macron had to hold his hand to get down the stairs, Pepper. That's the story from that. We're not going to give up our First Amendment. That's right. Dump. Can you people stop being childish? What? Are you mad that I'm calling him Dump? What's the matter, Gigi? Gigi, are you mad that I'm calling a credibly alleged child rapist Dump? Can you stop being childish, Gigi? Can you stop supporting a man who credibly raped children? Can you? Make an excuse for that. Oh, so now you're going to use bad words? That's all you've got? You've just got these little slurs that you think are so fucking deadly? Bye. Watch and learn. Okay, here we go. The Constitution, Mr. Scharf wrote in his memo to Susie Wiles, the White House Chief of Staff, permits suspension of habeas corpus only in cases of rebellion or invasion. Courts have almost uniformly held that only Congress can do it. He added, even where Congress has explicitly suspended habeas corpus rights, the Supreme Court has held that some alternative process must be provided to defendants with procedural safeguards akin to a habeas corpus action. It prevents, in effect, governmental actors from detaining, imprisoning, or executing individuals arbitrarily, Mr. Scharf. Mr. Scharf discovered the Constitution. Mr. Scharf discovered the Constitution. This is his memo. I kind of want to read it. We'll come back to that. In early April last year, the Supreme Court had allowed the administration to continue its use of the Alien Enemies Act as the basis for deporting Venezuelans who were in the country or in the United States illegally. But the justices also ruled that the migrants were entitled to challenge their deportations in court before being expelled. The detainees, the court held, could file lawsuits citing habeas corpus to challenge the basis for their removal, substantially slowing the administration's deportation drive. Yes. Oh my God. I are you a year or so behind? Maybe we're there yet. We're already there yet, baby. Okay. Inside the White House, Mr. Miller, the influential deputy chief of staff, saw an opening for an idea he had raised previously. Has he passed a security clearance? Has anybody in the White House passed a security clearance? Did we just forget about that? Has anyone in the White House actually passed a security clearance? Does Steve Witkoff have a security clearance? I don't get it. I don't get it. Inside the White House, Mr. Miller saw an opening for an idea he had raised previously. What if Mr. Dump simply claimed the power to suspend habeas corpus? Oh my God. Then the locked up immigrants would be blocked from receiving hearings or even from seeking court orders to prevent their removal from the country. This was an opportunity for Dump to not only speed up deportations, but also to assert vastly expanded power over a legal system that was getting in his way. Suspending habeas corpus was one of two radical ideas Mr. Miller had been pushing that alarmed Mr. Scharf. The other was invoking the Insurrection Act to deploy the military to enforce the law on American streets as protests grew against the deportation sweeps. Mr. Scharf wrote confidential memos to Ms. Wiles on both topics, setting out in a low-key way why taking either step would shatter historical norms and likely precipitate hazardous legal and constitutional battles. A senior administration official speaking on background because the official was not authorized to discuss the matter publicly said for this article that senior staff had requested the memos and that they were seen by relatively few people. That's right. It is the Constitution. But the documents reflected alarm among a small group of senior aides. They felt that Mr. Miller's eagerness to test the limits of executive power and to accuse other branches of encroaching on it, echoing a president who bristled at any constraint, risked steering the administration and the country in a dangerous direction. In the case of the Insurrection Act, Vice President J.D. Vance Couchfucker pushed to invoke it just days after federal agents murdered Alex Preddy, a Minnesota critical care nurse who was protesting the administration's immigration policies and helping a woman stand up whom they had knocked down. The details of internal debates over how aggressive Dump should be in seeking to deport millions of immigrants and crack down on those protesting his policies are drawn from reporting from a forthcoming book. Oh boy. She's got a book, baby. We got a book, baby. Book. It's coming out. It's in a book. Oh, yeah. That other stuff is just dumb. At the center of the internal White House debates over suspending habeas corpus and invoking the Insurrection Act were Miller, intent on pushing the limits of the constitutional system, and Scharf, a process-driven lawyer, little known outside the West Wing. As the staff secretary, Mr. Scharf was the final stop for paperwork flowing through the White House before it reached the president's desk. Among other duties, his office processed the executive actions and presidential memorandums behind what became known as the retribution agenda. JD is bisexual. I mean, that's a good one. I'm sorry. That's funny. I know that's funny. But Mr. Scharf belonged to a small group inside the administration that, while supportive of the president's agenda, was quietly trying to pull him back from the more aggressive moves pushed by Mr. Miller and others, actions that promised Mr. Dump quick results but kept producing costly entanglements in court. Because what they have done is illegal, and courts are telling them it's illegal time and time again. What was it? I have to get the numbers, but the numbers they go against the narrative that these folks are trying to push down your fucking throats. Look at the numbers. They are losing in court. Unprecedentedly, this administration is losing in court because they don't have a legal argument for what they're trying to do, y'all. It's that bad. Their worry was self-inflicted damage. Weak legal arguments would invite sweeping rulings against the administration because the Nazis are stupid. They've got stupid lawyers. Fucking Todd Blanche. He was the president's personal lawyer. He lost twice. He lost the rape case and he lost the fucking everything. He lost the fraud cases and the rape case. Hold on. I just got to look at something. Updates. Oh, we got it. Ah! Y'all, I think we have a new apartment. Maybe. You're going to love it. You're going to love our new apartment. I don't know yet, though. It's not confirmed. Confirmed. No papers have been signed, unfortunately. I'm an independent registered voter. See you in the midterms, maggot. Yeah, hell yeah, Jimmy. Hell yeah, Jimmy Myers. That's right, bitches. We're coming for you. We don't care about labels. We're coming. Yeah, July. Hopefully July we move into our new place. Oh my God. 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 We get to go on hikes. We'll be near a place I can hike. Yay. Fingers crossed that it all comes through. It's gonna cost us a lot to move into it, but it's okay. It's all right. Yay. Whoop whoop. Carrie. Hi Carrie. Hi Badge. I love you guys. You're so nice to me. You guys are so nice. I can't wait. It'll be so great. We're gonna have a nice streaming place. Yeah. Okay. But their worry was self-inflicted. Oh wait, we already did this. Mr. Scharf was not alone in his concerns about suspending habeas rights. David Warrington, White House counsel, had told colleagues he was skeptical of some of Mr. Miller's views of executive authority. Some figures in the White House privately called suspending habeas corpus insane. But see, the problem is that these folks are not acknowledging that the SCOTUS is captured, right? So it doesn't, federal courts are doing the heavy lifting of giving feedback to this administration that what they're trying to do is wrong. I hope the agreement on the new apartment is more solid than the agreement on the Strait of Hormuz. Right now, we're pretty much in that we're pretty much at the same level as the Iran agreement right now. Okay, both sides are saying it, but we're not exactly sure what's in the papers. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's gonna kind of wipe us out to move in there, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. All right. So that's my point, is that you've got people who are literally, they've been losing in federal court. But the problem is that people like Miller and Vogt and other people and Susie Wiles, they know that the backstop is SCOTUS. That's why they're not bothered by any of this pushback internally, right? None of this internal pushback matters, because at the end of the day, the ringleaders of this, the Susie Wiles, the Russ Vogt, the Stephen Millers, the whoever else, they're the ones who are, they know they've got SCOTUS. They don't have to worry, right? It can be pushed all the way up to the top, and it will still likely come into to fruition. So I don't know. Not yet 40 agreements on the apartment. So yeah, at least I only am in one agreement right now, right? We haven't, although we have applied for a few apartments. It's brutal out here. You are not good enough. I know. Why would you have a title like that? I wouldn't want to put myself in a title like that. I don't even know what the emoji is. I think it's golden poop, which I think is great. All right, let's keep going. David Warrington. Okay. Mr. Miller, according to West Wing officials, had at first tried to charm Mr. Scharf, but soon came to see him as an obstacle. Weeks after the inauguration, he was issuing sharp directives to Mr. Scharf's office about how it should operate. When it came to suspending habeas corpus, one of the most powerful constitutional protections of individual rights, I'm under an MOU in the apartment. Yeah, in regards to the apartment, we're currently in the MOU phase. It's true. A gentleman's agreement, would you say? We still got 30 days here. We got to give 30 days notice, so we're good. Let's see. Bypassing. Okay. Mr. Miller was in effect encouraging something Mr. Dump had long dreamed of, bypassing judges in deportation cases. Can I also just say that I don't think Mr. Dump dreamed of bypassing judges in deportation cases? I think he was told he hates people and hates poor people, especially hates brown people, hates black people, unless they're making money for him. And so I don't think he literally gives a shit about habeas corpus, nor does he even understand what it is. Okay. I think whatever Stephen Miller tells him to believe, he's going to believe. Whatever Russ Vogt tells him to believe, he's going to believe. Whatever Susie Wiles tells him to believe, he's going to believe. Literally, I think this guy is more of a sponge than he is any kind of mastermind. He's just not. He is the Trojan horse that they needed to break all the norms. And boy, did he do it. He fucked those norms. That was his job. And he did a great job at it. And now we're left with this internal mishmash of Renfields and, and the other guy. Yeah. Fuck. The president was interested. He asked advisors about Abraham Lincoln's suspension of habeas rights to the Civil War. Really? Maggie Haberman? Really? He really asked about fucking Abraham Lincoln's suspension of habeas rights during the Civil War? Seriously? This is bullshit. This is Maggie Haberman's wet dream. This is not a serious article. Acting like the president is the intellectual center of any of this is disingenuous bullshit. The Dump administration was not known for encouraging or tolerating internal dissent, but Mr. Scharf put his concerns down in writing as aides realized the discussion was becoming serious. The history of habeas corpus dates back to the very dawn of English common law, he recorded in his memo to Miss Wiles. Denial of habeas corpus rights was a key grievance underlying the American Revolution. Hello. And the right to apply to the federal courts for habeas review dates to the beginning of the Republic. Wow. Listen to this guy. He would have been like a true believer. That is the least knowledgeable, unspecific criticism I've ever heard. Go back and try again. Throughout U.S. history, Mr. Scharf wrote, all three branches of government had been loath to interfere with habeas corpus, doing so only in only in the direst of circumstances and typically with respect to very limited categories of individuals. Habeas corpus had been formally suspended only 4 times, most recently after Pearl Harbor. In every case, the country was at war or facing armed rebellion. Well, we weren't because we interred a bunch of Japanese people, and that basically is just as bad as what we're doing right now. Yeah. In every case, the country was at war. Okay, only Lincoln at the start of the Civil War had ever claimed the power without congressional authorization, and only during a long congressional recess. Mr. Scharf cited President Bush, whose expansive claims of executive power helped lay the groundwork for Dump's second term. Mr. Bush had claimed that he could indefinitely imprison terrorism suspects at Guantanamo Bay, and that no court had jurisdiction to hear their habeas petitions. That's ridiculous, okay? Yeah, but in 2008, back in the old days, the Supreme Court ruled that the detainees still had a constitutional right to file such lawsuits. Do you think that would happen now? I'm very curious. I mean, I know they have the habeas stuff, but I don't know. The upshot of these cases is that for all persons held in de facto U.S. territory, habeas rights apply. Or in the limited circumstance of military detainees, an adequate alternative to habeas must be provided, Mr. Scharf concluded. Mr. Scharf did not say what Mr. Dump should do, but the implication was plain. Suspension of habeas rights without congressional authorization would almost certainly be found unlawful, and the court fight would become a huge self-inflicted distraction. Oh, you mean like a war that alters our global trade? You mean like that? So this is number 2? The day after Mr. Scharf sent the memo to Ms. Wiles, Mr. Dump publicly alluded for the first time to his consideration of taking that drastic step. I'm telling you right now, he just says whatever the people that are around him tell him to say. Everything they said about Biden is literally happening in this White House. Literally. He's not the initial. Oh my God. There's one way. Here we go.
There's one way. that's been used by 3 very highly respected presidents. I mean, they're not as good as me, but you know. But we hope we don't have to go that route.
Sorry, I thought there was more. He said during a cabinet meeting, referring to his options for going around the courts in the case of Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia, the Salvadoran national who had been living in Maryland and had been wrongly deported to a notorious terrorism prison in El Salvador known as SECOT. But we hope we don't have to go that route, Mr. Dump added. Do we know how many people are still being held in SECOT or the DRC or Sudan? Do we know? Do we know how many people are still being held and where that? Because that's still happening. Those flights are still going. If you don't follow JJ in DC, JJ in DC is actually I'll pull up his account and give you the handle because he, I guess it's a he. Oh my God, I shouldn't say that. They report on the actual flights that are happening around the country and they are fabulous. So let me get that. Let me find JJ in DC. You guys probably already know who he is, but I just want to make sure for the show that people know. JJ in DC. JJ in DC. Sorry about that. Okay, let me copy. Copy. All right. This account on Blue Sky does amazing tracking of planes going back and forth. So this is very real and very much happening. And I don't know. I don't know how we stop it, but man, we got to fucking do something. This is so fucking ridiculous. When CNN later reported that Mr. Dump's cabinet comments referred to suspending habeas corpus and that the president was directly involved in discussions, Mr. Miller addressed reporters outside the West Wing.
Baby voice. The Constitution is clear. And that, of course, is the supreme law of the land. That the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus can be suspended in a time of invasion. It's true. You gotta look it up. So it's an option we're actively looking at.
Mr. Miller was intentional about his choice of words. The president had been trying to recast the immigration surge across the southern border during the Biden years as an invasion by enemy forces, a highly dubious claim intended to unlock extraordinary powers intended only for wartime to repel the migrants. Mr. Miller kept using the word invasion even after border crossings had fallen to multi-decade lows. Look,
a lot of it depends on whether the courts do the right thing or not.
Mr. Miller added to the reporters, a not so subtle warning that federal judges to give the president a leeway he was seeking. See, that sentence alone should be like, no, Stephen Walmart Nosferatu, get back in your coffin and go away. You fucking loser. After weeks of uproar and disagreement between government officials on whether it could be done, the proposal eventually faded from view. Asked about it later, Dump appeared to acknowledge discussing suspending habeas corpus, but downplayed the discussions were serious and suggested it was not worth doing so just then. If you're going to do that, that's a big one, Mr. Dump said, referring to Mr. Abrego Garcia. You wouldn't do that for a particular person. What? Mr. Dump got some of what he wanted anyway through a bureaucratic sleight of hand. For nearly 30 years, immigration laws have been interpreted with a clear distinction between people stopped at the border and people arrested inside the country. Many of those apprehended at the border could be held in mandatory detention without a hearing, but those arrested inside the United States, including people who had been living in the country some for years or decades, often faced an easier path to appear before an immigration judge and request release on bond. In July 2025, ICE officials made a crucial shift. From that point on, the administration would treat immigrants arrested inside the United States, including those who had been in the country for years, as if they had just been stopped at the border, meaning they could be held without a bond hearing. The vast majority of detained migrants would not qualify to see a judge because asylum claims at the border had been so restricted. Many federal judges ruled against the new interpretation, but the administration frequently ignored them. Yeah, they just ignored them. Even without overtly taking away a fundamental right that would affect millions of people, Mr. Miller's team had found a way to gum up the legal works for many migrants for months on end. Oh my God. Minneapolis. Beautiful. With the suspension of habeas corpus seemingly off the table for the time being, the administration was still weighing another explosive use of executive authority, invoking the Insurrection Act. This was an action that Dump had often mused about in his first term, but had never taken. The renewed pressure came from a corner of the White House that grew ascendant last fall. The September 2025 assassination of the conservative activist Charlie Kirk had galvanized Mr. Vance and Mr. Miller, longtime allies on the question of left-wing political violence, to broaden federal investigations of domestic terrorism to encompass a wider range of progressive groups. By winter, the second Dump White House had saw itself at war against an enemy within the United States, and the courts were not the only battleground. Efforts by activists to impede roundups of immigrants were accelerating in some cities, in some cases drawing crowds onto the streets. The protests prompted renewed discussions inside the administration about the Insurrection Act. Most West Wing aides agreed that there had been moments during the George Floyd protests of 2020 when use of the Insurrection Act might have been defensible. But what was happening on the ground in 2025 in response to the administration's immigration policies bore no resemblance. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. Okay. Summer 2020, there were plenty of arrests. There were known instigators from the Proud Boys and other right-wing groups trying to make it appear much more violent than it was. So where's the reporting on that? Because that was reported on. But somehow we seem to forget to include, first of all, that was not a situation where the Insurrection Act would have been applied, because people have the right to protest police violence. And if you want to know why people burn shit down, and maybe you should ask them. Maybe we should figure out why people are so fucking ready to burn shit down, if indeed they even are, which I challenge that notion as well. You cannot and should not paint any large group by the actions of members that, I was down on the ground in front of the Federal Detention Center, and there would be people that came up behind me and throw something at the police. So then the police would respond. It fucking happens. People are mad. I don't really give a shit about a building being burned down. I care much more about why that building is being burned down in the name of human rights. So maybe if everybody just fucking focused on the right things and said, yeah, we want to make sure everybody's got constitutional rights, human rights, civil rights, then maybe, okay. But people are pissed. And unless you address the reason people are pissed, they're going to continue to be pissed. And instigators will instigate. It's a fucking vicious cycle, and we just, because of disinformation, we choose not to step out of it. Because of disinformation. Go figure. All right. For Mr. Dump, the question of how to handle protesters became entangled in what he had long sought to portray, often with wild exaggeration, as an epidemic of violent crime in Democratic-led cities. His solution was to put troops on the street, at least in the form of National Guard, who ended up getting shot. For what? That guy was killed for what? That National Guard person? That woman, right? She was killed for what? For what? So that he could have a photo op in DC? What the hell are we even doing? What is going on? Like, if a Democrat did any of this stuff, it would be impeachment immediately. So yeah, please vote in the midterms. Please. Please vote for pro-democracy. I don't care what you call yourself. I don't care what label you have. Vote for democracy. Vote for justice. Vote for the rights of people that you don't even know. Vote for an end to tyranny. Do your research on who the people running for representatives are this fall. Understand what they care about. Please. This is the most important thing we can do this year. I know And I know, and I respect the fact that many people, activists, etc., are like, elections don't work and blah. I understand that. I do. But I am begging for us to vote for pro-democracy, for reasonableness, for the Constitution, and for the rights of people we may never meet. Like, that is what is always driving that. His solution was to put troops on the streets, at least in the form of National Guard. It was an instinct that had begun to harden over the summer after a young staffer in Elon Musk Doge was beaten up. You know what? Bullshit. I want to see the fucking research. I want to see the case file on that too, because I'm not buying it. Yeah. He got punched, but you know what? This fucking administration is full of KFAB, full of it, full of false flags, and that to me is one of their perfect false flags. They really did it. There's all this shit. All this shit is a false flag. There's too many black swans. That's the problem. We were all worried about one black swan. There's too many black swans. Now it's just like, I don't even know what to do with all these black swans. When the president began publicly threatening to do just that, to use the Insurrection Act to circumvent a Supreme Court ruling barring his deployment of the National Guard to Illinois over the governor's objections, Mr. Scharf wrote another confidential memo. The Insurrection Act serves as a break-the-glass exception to the traditional general prohibition on the use of the military in domestic setting, Mr. Scharf wrote in a memo dated October 29th, tracing the history of its use. I'll go ahead and link the documents. Link the documents in my description of the video, so you'll have all the documents, including the memos themselves. I won't read them now because we've got other things and I'm kind of running up against time. The most recent use was during the 1992 Los Angeles riots, when the acquittal of 4 police officers in the beating of Rodney King triggered 6 days of destruction that left 63 people dead, nearly 2,400 injured, and whole blocks of the city in flames. The 1992 deployment had come, as Mr. Scharf noted, at the request of California's governor. What Mr. Miller was pushing, and the president was eager to do, had no precedent under these relatively peaceful circumstances. Most legal analysts agree that the Insurrection Act does provide the president with exceptionally broad powers and authority, essentially unreviewable by the other branches of government, Mr. Scharf wrote, but he cautioned that it would almost certainly be challenged in court the moment it was invoked, slowing the process and potentially obviating any advantage to be gained in terms of the flexibility that it would provide to the president. Privately, Mr. Scharf stressed to colleagues that suspending habeas for immigrants and invoking the Insurrection Act without the genuine need were 2 steps the White House could not afford to take. But as the administration pushed ICE deeper into cities and as protests against the president's immigration policies intensified in response, the pull of the idea remains strong for some in the West Wing. Jesus Christ. The discussion came to a head in late January. Federal agents had shot and killed 2 U.S. citizens who had been voicing their opposition to the administration's deportation policies in Minnesota: Renee Good, a poet and mother of 3, on January 7th, and Mr. Preddy, an intensive care nurse, on January 24th. The ensuing protests had grown into the most intense unrest of Mr. Dump's second term. Mr. Miller and other senior officials accused Ms. Good of domestic terrorism, and Mr. Miller called Mr. Preddy an assassin. Yet a few days after the Preddy killing, and even as the administration was moving to de-escalate the situation, Mr. Vance walked into Ms. Wiles' West Wing office shortly after 9 a.m. for the regular senior staff meeting and took a seat at the end of her long conference table. Attendance was lighter than usual. Mr. Miller sat to his right, his back to the windows overlooking West Executive Avenue. Mr. Scharf sat at the opposite end of the table. Mr. Warrington, the White House counsel, was beside the vice president. Ms. Wiles took her customary wingback chair near the fireplace. Her deputy, James Blair, took the other. Mr. Vance got to the point. They needed to invoke the Insurrection Act swiftly to crush the unrest in Minnesota. It would be painful in the short term, he said, but the message it would send, that paid agitators could not get away with disrupting ICE operations, would make sure no one tried it again. There was no evidence that Ms. Preddy, no one has been paid. Stop this nonsense. That's also disinformation. Stop it. Don't even entertain it. It's bullshit. Okay. Yeah. So this I think is very important. Mr. Vance is the one who wants to crack our heads. Don't get it twisted. Peter Thiel's puppet, J.D. Vance, the representative of the donor class, Mr. Vance. Yeah. He got punched by a black high school girl. Who got punched? Oh, Stephen Miller. Yeah, he had some problem. I don't know what problems he had. He was very mad when he was here in Santa Monica or something like that. I don't really know. He's a racist. He's a fucking racist asshole. Like he literally is like has Nazi ideations. Like it's weird. Mr. Sharf spoke next. Without referring to the confidential memo he had sent Ms. Wiles in October, he laid out his objection. The law, as he understood it, simply did not fit the circumstances on the ground. Mr. Miller, unusually subdued, pushed back only mildly. The boundaries of the Insurrection Act, he suggested, had never really been tested. See, this is another thing. John Eastman said that too about the vice president not counting the votes on January 6th. Right? John Eastman wanted to be famous for breaking the Constitution by indicating that the vice president could reject the votes. That's the reading of the Constitution that he had. Doesn't that sound familiar? He wanted to test the limits of the Constitution. That's what they all want. That's not true, Stephen, Mr. Sharf said. It's very prescriptive. Someone noted the use of the law in 1992. Someone else made the obvious rejoinder. This was not the LA riots. Then Mr. Blair weighed in with the political case. The scenes of federal agents in Minnesota already looked chaotic, he said. And the public was recoiling. He put 3 questions to the room. What does the Insurrection Act give us that we don't already have? What changes on the ground would be worth the heat? What else could they win that would justify the public relations cost? The room was quiet. Nobody had a good answer. For weeks, Ms. Wiles, the chief of staff, had been fielding calls from elected officials and business leaders about Minnesota. After Mr. Preddy was killed, she had pointedly told colleagues that the reason for sending federal agents to Minneapolis had been, quote, to arrest people who were getting federal benefits wrongly. This is what we went to Minnesota for, and we are so far off that mission. Fucking bitch. Fucking bitch. But as was often her way in charged discussions, she said little now, giving others the floor. From his seat on the couch, Stephen Chung, the White House communications director and punchable face, laid out the public relations problem. Mr. Vance, having heard the arguments, appeared to soften. Perhaps now was not the time. The meeting broke up without a decision, a vague consensus to keep thinking about it, but it had been clarifying in its own way. Even if after the administration's posture had helped escalate tensions in Minnesota, even with the blowback mounting, the vice president and Mr. Miller were still searching for a reason to put federal troops on American streets. Under immense public pressure, the administration would subsequently take a different course of action. The most vocal immigration hardliner, Bovino, Customs and Border Protection Commander at Large, was removed from his post, and administration held back on ICE pushes in cities in the weeks after Mr. Preddy's death. Yet just as no, they've just been quieter about it. Okay, let's stop this. They didn't hold back. We've got them. Oh man, this is the bad disinformation Maggie is trying to push you. They're trying to make you think it's not happening. Yet, just as the idea of suspending habeas was set aside, but never fully abandoned by some inside the White House, I'm so sorry, the Insurrection Act, at least in the eyes of proponents, would remain a loaded weapon in the West Wing, eager to test the limits of presidential power. I'll gift that. I'll gift this article. Sorry, hold on. I have a very dry throat. I'll put that in the thing. I'll put that in the thing. I'll put that in the thing. I will put that in the thing. They're not doing anything at the resort, the Evian resort. Do you think they drink Evian water? Is that where Evian water comes from? I guess it is. I find Evian water too minerally. Does anybody else find that? I find that too minerally. Kind of, you know? Like I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to smoke a joint and just hang out with you guys for a minute. No more. I don't want to read anymore. We did some good reading today, though. Those are good articles. And we got to see the entries at the fucking state fair. The state fair of leaders. Our state fair is a great state fair. It's the greatest state fair in the world. I'm gonna light my thing. I put a lighter on a string, so I can find it. I put a lighter on a string so I can find it. This shirt is bugging me. Anyway, I hope everybody's Monday is going well. I don't know. Share, please like and share. Oh my God, please help my little channel. We made it over 1,500 subscribers. It only took us 4 years. Now I'm sure we're like number 75 with a bullet. I hate spring water in bottles. I know, actually, yeah. But I do like water. You like mineral taste? There's an even more minerally one I love, Badois. It's like sucking on a rock. Max, I love you. Hey, this week we're having a special new night of movies. I think I'm going to do Thursday night. And what we're going to do is we're going to have on Thursday nights, I want to do a couple of the Max Flower midnight movie selections. And they might change days, but I think for this week, I'd like to do it on Thursday. And we'll have a couple of movies that beautiful Max has found and curated for us on the campier side of movie land. And then Saturday we'll have real big movies, which actually Carla had suggested Hedwig and the Angry Inch because of Pride Month. We've been doing some beautiful documentaries on Pride as well. The Death and Life of Marsha P. Johnson. I totally recommend seeing that movie about Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rodriguez, who were really some of the founders of the gay movement, frankly, in New York City, Stonewall, and all those things. So highly recommend. And then we also watched Come See Me in the Good Light, which is also about a couple, a lesbian couple going through, one of the partners is going through a terminal illness, and they're both poets. And that is, we watched that movie too, and it's so beautiful. So fucking beautiful. So highly recommend. So yeah, I think we're thinking about Hedwig. I got to check with GP, but I'm pretty sure he has access to that in Australia. So we'll let people know. But it is Pride Month, and it's really good. If you are not a member of the LGBTQ community, it would be great for people to really engage and understand what the fights are. And especially for trans people right now, the fight is in there. That's where the fight is. I don't know. I mean, I shouldn't say that because I'm not a member of any of those communities, but I just feel strongly that the trans community is so under attack, and it just won't stop. And I really think we need to be very vocal about the right of trans people to exist. And I just don't understand how that even, do I listen to Handsome Pod? I think I've heard of it, but I don't think I've actually watched it. We should watch Crip Camp about the disability rights movement. Oh yeah, I definitely would like to watch that. Definitely. Grey Goose. I never really drank. Was that a vodka? I didn't really drink vodka when I was a drinker. I drank beer and white wine. I don't know. I was pretty base. I was a pretty basic girl when I was an alcoholic. Of all the people I have loved, Hedwig, but it was just a blah for me. I know art is subjective, right? I mean, I'm not really all that, but I think it's a good, iconic movie, especially during Pride Month. Yes, we have documentary Tuesdays. We're doing documentaries. I think tomorrow we're doing, oh shit, I can't remember. But it's another one along the theme of LGBTQ rights and stories. So we're trying to highlight, or I pick movies to highlight stories from those communities because they're so under attack. And I want to learn more. So hopefully other people do too. That's what this is all about for me. It's just the learning. You're learning with me. I'm not telling you anything. Okay. I mean, I might tell you things sometimes, just my opinion, but I'm not teaching anybody anything. I'm just trying to stand up for what I believe in, which is human rights for everyone. We start there, and then you can argue about, some specifics, I guess, but it doesn't make sense to me. This is all a waste of time and money. And I just want to say, last night in watching the Hi, Easily Distracted. Oh, so good to see you, girl. One thing I want to say about the fucking fight last night. Wait, is there something happening? Do you hear it? Wait, you don't hear it, but hold on. Let me just see if there's something happening. Are they doing a question? Hold on. I was hearing some voices before. Okay, let's save for this. Anyway, yeah, that's all I'm trying to say. I'm nice to uplift everybody. You know what? I don't actually hate anyone. I hate people who are trying to take rights away from others or speak ill on entire groups of people. And if you're a maggot and I don't like you, you have the perfect opportunity to say, you know what, you're right, Lolo. I should not be a transphobic. I should not be a racist. I should not, you have a chance to change that. Broadway shoes. I actually agree with this criticism of Hedwig and the Angry Inns. I'm not sure it's the best musical, although I'm not a musical fan either. Actually, that's probably what's weighing in this more than that. I just don't like musicals. It has to be like Hadestown is one of the only musicals I could really stand. Just to be honest. It's a great musical, by the way. Hadestown is a beautiful musical. You should definitely listen to the soundtrack of Hadestown. It's the Ophelia myth. It's so good. The music is so good. Oh my god. Oh no, are you on the maybe Easily is over on the vertical. Oh, this is the guy from Egypt. This is Al-Sisi. That's who that is. That's the Egyptian leader. I'm probably not saying it right.
G7, welcome, Mr. President. The head of the protocol, Mr. President. Head of the resort.
Head of the resort. I know.
Thank you very
Sorry.
much. Please, Mr. President.
I just turned it down a little bit. I could do that too. It's probably just the arrival. I don't think we're going to get anything else out of this moment. Looks like a nice place. Wait, they don't have any like space for protesters or anything. I think there are protests, but I can't remember where I saw them. Sorry, I'll get rid of that. Sorry. Anyway. So I hope we have a good week. I hope nobody dies. I hope we get justice. There's a lot to cover. But you know what the good news is? Not good news, but you know what's happening is there's not a lot happening in Congress this week. So I'm going to take that as an opportunity to read some of the stories and get deeper over the next few days. So be ready for that. I think we're gonna dive deep as we can. There's always more I could do. I always feel that at the end of every show. I always feel like, God, I could just keep going. But I get a little tired and I don't want to be like tired. But I just really, there's so much. There's so much we need to cover. It looks similar to the hotel in Banff. Yeah, I know. It's a nice resort. Pretty nice. Anyway. Well, tell you what, I adore you. If nobody else adores you, I do. So just know that. And I hope that your Monday is as restorative as it can be for this week. And I hope you're able to find a moment to take a deep breath today, because I think deep breaths are very important. I didn't do my little meditation this morning. I have to get back to that. I do recommend sitting in musical silence for a few moments in the morning, just to anchor yourself in your mind. So I hope that for you. I hope that for everyone, even the maggots. I even hope they find peace. So try 3-minute Tic Tacs. There you go. 3-minute Tic Tacs. All right. I love you guys. Thanks again for coming. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for getting us. Thank you for being here for the years that you've been here. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And I can be a bit whiny sometimes, so I know, but I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. All right. I'll see you guys later. I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and girly, same channel. Hopefully more news about the apartment, which get ready because that studio is going to be amazing. All right. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.